Hello and good morning. It's Jake here with Mountain View Softwash, bringing you another video of washing today. Right now we're in Evans, Colorado, and we have a two-story house here, and the client asked us to wash the roof and protect it with our fabulous Restore conditioner, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then let me flip the camera around. And then we have a beautiful two-story house. Paint's a little bit dated, a little bit older, but it is dirty. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but there's a lot of dirt, lots of buildup over the years. This side is a little bit oxidized. Unfortunately, the client opted not to do oxidation removal, which is fine. We will get a little bit of that off through our soft wash process. And then we're gonna go ahead and tackle the roof like I mentioned. Now it's a two-story, no problem getting up here from the ground, but it's this backside that we're gonna have a little bit of an issue. And normally, I probably could use our extension pole with the help of a assistant technician, being my eyes and ears, but unfortunately, I'm alone today. So, what's the option? I'm gonna have to get on the roof. I'm gonna harness up, get ourselves nice and secured to the roof, and I'm gonna tackle it from the north side of the home here. So I got my ladder set up. I'm gonna go here. It's not too steep, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna work my way at the top there and just kind of spray down, and that way we get the roof nice and clean. Now what they are concerned with the roof, it's a little bit newer roof, and as you may know or may not know, here in Colorado we have very, dry and sometimes climate that changes often. So we go from high temperatures to low temperatures back to high temperatures. And that just plays havoc on the asphalt shingles. It can actually decrease the longevity of your common asphalt shingle roof. And so how we resolve that is using our beautiful Restore product. And that actually gets absorbed into the shingles. I'm putting in the neighbor's house here. And it pushes out all water or moisture that's currently in there. And this, of course, after we wash it. And then it gets absorbed in there. And it's a leave-on conditioner. And allows the shingles to have some elasticity. So as the temperatures go up and down, it allows them to be more pliable. So they're less likely to break and crack. And in results, you're going to get an extension of time on your roof. So the recommendation is to have this done once a year, and then just come back and have us reapply our Restore. The biggest thing is getting it clean now, getting it protected, and then the customer is going to have us come out once a year and just kind of refresh and restore on that roof. So we can actually increase the longevity of the roof just by maintaining it properly. And the same thing goes with the paint. If we're properly cleaning and applying our leave-on conditioner, it can actually extend the longevity of the paint. So that's why it's important to have your house washed at least once a year and properly protected. In most cases, a lot of people are just spraying high pressure water. They're getting the dirt and dust off, knocking down some cobwebs maybe, but then they leave it as that, and they're not really adding kind of wax or protectant on the siding. And in this case, we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna restore the roof, and then we're gonna clean and restore the siding here. I'm not too sure if you can see this, but you got different stripes in the camera. This is actually organic growth, and why it's striping, not too sure why it's doing that, but you can actually see the buildup and growth, which is kind of surprising on this wood here, but that is organic growth that has just kind of accumulated over the years. So we're gonna knock that out as well. So other than that, I think we're gonna go through, check all of his gutters for him, make sure those nice and clear. And we're just gonna get this nice and refreshed. The customer purchased this home probably about 6 to 8 months ago. And they're just kind of tired of seeing all this. And you can see it on camera pretty good. It just got a black hue to it. So every day they walk in, park their cars, come in the house, they're just looking at a dirty home all the time. So we're gonna refresh that, get that nice and clean for them, and I'll show you some before and afters here as we go. Stay tuned. Okay, we're up here on the two-story roof, just kind of doing a pre-inspection. Now before we get started, the good thing is I don't see any organic growth at all, which doesn't surprise me. We don't really have a whole lot of that on roofs here in Colorado. As you can see, I got my safety line anchored. I'm good to go. If I take a tumble, I still go home to my family, which is always good. So we are OSHA compliant. We wear all the proper safety gear. We take all the proper precautions. This is not my favorite thing to do. I don't like getting up here. If I can do it from the ground, I 100% will. Even if it means bringing out one of my, extension poles that can really get up here. I mean, I could probably do it from here, but that other side is gonna be really tricky. So I'm gonna operate from here today. Just kind of work my way down this roof. Just want to wash it. We don't have to apply any kind of sodium hypochlorite on this. We're just gonna use our beautiful green wash, which should be a nice surfactant just to kind of get all the dirt and grime off of it. Kind of leaving us a cleaner surface to work with, and then we'll apply our restore. We're gonna work our way from the top all the way down to the gutters, just kind of in a nice application pattern, and hopefully I'll be able to show you some of that as well. But first steps first, we'll get this nice and properly cleaned with our green wash, and we'll go from there. Okay, so for today, we're going to use a little bit of our green wash. I'm gonna go ahead and put some bleach in the line and then turn it off, just because I want to do a paint test before we get started here. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna need any bleach on the roof here, so we're just gonna go straight green wash. I'm purging the line right now, as you can see, just dumping the rocks. Now what's in here is our final wash, and that's just our waxing agent. Biodegradable, water-based, very safe. Not too worried about that, just kind of spraying the rocks and on the driveway here. And we're just waiting for some bubbles to come through. And I think they're coming. So as soon as the bubbles come through, kind of an indicator that our new batch that we're gonna be washing the roof, there we go. It tells me we're good to go. So I'm gonna turn this off. And that's the new concoction. And again, it's got the rinse module launched up. So that's our high pressure rinse. That's gonna go up there because after I actually wash the roof, I'm gonna do a full rinse down on it so we get a nice clean roof to work with before we add our wonderful restore product on here. So just want to show you really quick what we're working with here, doing a little bit of green wash. I decided to throw some of our toner 12, our sodium hypochlorite, in the line, do a paint test. I'm gonna come back through, turn that off, and that way if we have any runoff coming down through the gutters or any spray residual, and I haven't paint tested yet, I don't want our house turning different colors on me. So we're gonna do a paint test first, make sure we're good to go, and then we'll get the process going. So here we go. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna do a little bit of a paint test here, and I just back side of the house in a really kind of hidden area under this box. I'm just gonna spray a little bit of the section there. And what I'm looking for is just seeing kind of reaction we're going to get out of this paint. And my experience says wait about a minute or two, and we'll see if we're going to change colors or not. I would suspect we're probably going to be okay, but you just never know. Throw some more on there, make sure I get a good batch, and I think we're going to be okay. Like I said, I'm going to give it another minute or so, but the nice thing about doing this is if we have any issues with the paint turning, we're not having to paint the whole side of the house. We're just addressing a little section here, and then we'll just have to reformulate and figure out a better solution, eliminate the sodium hypochlorite, because that is what the paint is reacting with. Some paints, famously Sherwin-Williams paints, they have a organic pigment that when hit with sodium hypochlorite, it will turn colors, and I've seen that on a blue house, and I had a section of paint turn green on me, so I knew right away that, well, can't do that. And fortunately, it wasn't really necessary to use sodium hypochlorite, excuse me, can't talk this morning, just because we didn't have a whole lot of organic growth, and the green wash, which does have a biocide on it, was able to get the job done. This house, like I mentioned, this has a lot of growth buildup on it, so we're gonna need some sodium hypochlorite to kind of attack that and get rid of this black, dolgy, dingy coating that's sitting on top of this yellow paint. So go back here and take a look. I'm just not seeing anything. I would suspect that we're going to be okay. So I just didn't want to climb on the roof and have to change everything, but I am going to go turn that off, purge the line a little bit, and I'm going to head up and just hit the roof with a little bit of green wash, get that thing clean. But I know exactly what I'm working with now, and that way there's no guesswork when I'm in the middle of this thing. So stay tuned. You can see we got a little bit of dirt already running off with that, so that's good. We got a lot of dirt on the house to take off. All right, back on the roof here. I've got both my soap wand and my rinse wand. You may be wondering why got some guys moving in, some appliances being loud, but you may be wondering why do I have my rinse wand ran down here. And the main reason is the weight of the hose full of water usually drags that thing off the roof. So why I'm not using it, I'm gonna have it offset here. We do have some bird poop up here to address, and our soap should take care of that with no problem. And we're all latched in, ready to go. So I'm gonna start the process. I'm gonna work my way from this edge, just kind of letting it wand down, just applying a smooth coat, and just let gravity pull and wash that all the way down the roof. So let's get going here. Here we go. Just getting the surfactant running. Let gravity do the work. I'm just gonna put a really thick flood coat right here, and I'm gonna wait a minute. Sorry, I got two hands here, one filming, one running the wand, so it's a little difficult to work, but just want to let you guys see the process here, and I'm gonna turn this off and get going. But right now I'm just putting a flood coat and watch it run down a little bit. I'm gonna work my way down there, and I'll just keep applying flood coats, minimizing the runoff. I don't want all my soap and surfactants spraying off the roof, running down into the gutters. I want it to just kind of nice and easily make a just slow pattern down, getting it clean as we go. You can see where right down here I've got a nice couple layers of flood coats, and the surfactant is slowly working its way down the roof, just covering every single piece of shingle. And I'm going to continue to apply some coats and just get a nice coating on everything. Let it sit for a little bit, maybe about 45 seconds to a minute, and then we'll do a rinse off. Get this nice and clean. All right, so we've let that sit for about 45 seconds to a minute, and now I'm just kind of rinsing everything off. I don't have any, like I mentioned before, I don't have any organic growth, so I'm not sitting here worried about letting it dwell a long time. I just wanted to get the roof nice and clean. So again, using our low pressure rinse, it's at 110 PSI roughly. We're just gonna kind of run all the dirt off this thing, get it prepared for our Restore product. Now, applying Restore, we want this to dry a little bit. I don't want it completely soaked like it is right now. Restore will just run off the roof. So we're gonna let it dry once we get it rinsed. I'm gonna do this other section over here. I'll crawl back down the ladder. I'll readjust for Restore, and then we'll be good to go to get a nice coat of our Restore product on this roof. Give it a good year or so of protection. Doesn't protect from hail, obviously, but it will give it a nice UV protection, make the tiles more pliable. And as we're getting into our colder season here, it does get cold and it warms up as well real quick, so it'll help increase the life of this roof as much as possible. All right, so we're just got done applying our roof wash on the north side of this house, and I'm just slowly working some water down, giving it a nice rinse, creating a nice rainbow, which is cool. But what I'm looking for is just making sure I get all the soap off. So I've done a pretty good job here. You can see some residual soap right there. This section still has soap on it, so if I rinse that down, you can see the runoff there. So I'm just going to keep rinsing until I don't see any more soap, kind of like what I'm seeing right here. So this section's pretty well rinsed. There's a couple little areas I need to tackle. I'll get that. I noticed that their gutters are a little clogged. A little bit of debris, so I'm gonna go ahead and flush that for him. I'm up here already, so that's not a big deal for me to go ahead and do that. Even though it's not part of what we came out here to do today. Sometimes it's just good to get those things done when we're right there in front of us. Makes it easier for me. Does a nice service for the client. So we're gonna get this nice and rinsed off. So this has been dwelling for about a good minute. And again, I don't need to dwell it for a long time. I don't have anything I'm trying to kill here. I'm just really trying to get all the dirt off that's built up over the years before we apply our roof conditioner, Restore. I'll show you how that process works here in a minute. So I'm gonna get this finalized and we'll go down to the truck, switch over to Restore, and we'll be back up here showing you guys how we apply that and what that looks like. Okay, so I'm back over here at my test spot. Like I said, double check that again. Everything looks good. We went ahead, we completely washed the roof and did a rinse on it. And while I was up there, before I came down and resetting the Restore, this whole section was full of organic growth. So I was up there, I sprayed that just to kind of see how fast of a reaction I'm going to have, and it's already gone. So just one light coat, let it sit, and all that organic growth that's on this siding, which you can see right here, is gone. So we're gonna have some really good results in this house. Pretty excited to show you guys what this looks like after. Look at the truck here. We're gonna make some adjustments. We're gonna go ahead and turn off the toner, turn off the green wash. We're gonna apply Restore 2. And again, I know I sound redundant, but this is our amazing leave-in conditioner that we're gonna apply to the roof. But we need to bleed the line first. So I've already got green wash and toner ran through 250 feet of line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and hit this little button here. I'm gonna turn down my wand. I'll show you guys what this does. Sorry, one-handed here. And so right now the line's getting burped. We got a device in here that's injecting air into the line. What you'll see here, hopefully they'll come up on camera, is air coming through the line. There it goes, okay? And that's gonna make its way through our hose reel, all the way through our wash, and it's gonna indicate to me that the line that after the bubbles, that's gonna be Restore. So what I'm doing now is I'm purging the line, just in some rocks. I got some weeds, so I'm gonna do the client a favor. And while I'm purging this, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a nice coat and kill all their weeds. Because plants, weeds, do not like sodium hypochlorite. And you might notice I'm getting some on my truck. So what we do at the end of the day is we neutralize all the chemicals, including the bleach, with our final wash. So I'll apply final wash to our truck. That'll neutralize everything. And then one thing I'll talk about that I haven't talked about is our plant wash. Now this particular house doesn't have a lot of like crazy landscaping foliage, but there's some brushes. There's one rose bush over there that I'm really worried about. I got a downspout that's draining the roof right down to that bush, that plant. So I went ahead and when I got off the roof there, I rinsed it down really good, kind of diluted the area. But after I'm all done here, I'm going to apply our plant wash. And I'll talk to you a little more about that when I'm doing it. But that is our sodium hypochlorite or bleach neutralizer. And it basically kills everything that we apply to the house, making everything nice and safe for the plants. And the best thing about it is it's got gypsum in it, it's got some nutrients, and it'll actually fertilize and protect the plants with the bonding agent on the leaves and the roots. So there we go. So now I know I've got Restore in my line. Another way of telling is that it's got a, and again, I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, but it's got an iridescent hue through it. So I can tell I got a line full of Restore. So I'm going to head back up the ladder here and I'm going to start the application process to protect the roof. Okay, so back on the roof here, and we're just applying our Restore product. And I'm just going to get some nice coverage here, walking forward on the roof. Just making sure I get a nice even coat. I already got some of the product running down. mainly because I was sitting here with one hand turning the wand on, trying to operate the camera. But just wanted to show you, this is a real nice light application, just making sure I get an even coat throughout the whole roof. And we'll continue to do that all the way down on both sides. Okay, so one more change here before we start washing. We're gonna go green wash 1, put our sodium hypochlorite on 1.5, and tear on 1, and we'll add a little fresh rain scent, and it'll be on 1 as well. And then we're gonna go ahead and purge the line and repeat the process. Lines are starting to get run to the backyard. We're gonna start on the south side of the house, and we're gonna work our way all the way around to the front. Make one more change, and we'll tackle this top section, removing our TerraWash. Our TerraWash is an amazing degreaser, and as you know, there's oils in these asphalt shingles. So if we were to run TerraWash up there, our degreaser, you can imagine what will happen. It'll release all the granules in the tile and pretty much ruin them. So we got to make sure that we're real careful that we don't get any overspray, heavy overspray. A little bit's okay because we'll rinse it down. But when we tackle these 3 areas right here, we're gonna wanna readjust again. And then we'll finalize everything again with Restore, and we'll be done, and I'll show you guys the after product. Okay, we're all wrapped up with this house wash here in Evans. Just to kind of reiterate everything that we did did a complete house wash from the roof down. So we did a full roof wash, and then we did our Roof Restore product, which is a amazing conditioner that'll give extra protection to the roof, help the shingles maintain their elasticity, make sure that they don't crack. Just think about it as like lotion for your skin. It's lotion for your roof, and that'll hold up for a good 10 to 12 months. And I know I probably said it 100 times, this is something you want to have done annually to make sure you maintain the longevity on your roof. And we have a maintenance program that we're putting together so that you can have ongoing maintenance, and once a year we can come out and take care of this roof at a fraction of the cost of doing it the first time. So that's something I'm really excited about. I'll be talking about that here in some upcoming videos, but let me show you the results on this house real quick. So the big concern this customer had was not only just the dirt, but these sides, this side and the side over here on the house, essentially the north side of the house, was caked with growing organic growth. And as you can see, I think if you go back and look at the first part of the video, you can see it had a lot of black streaks, had a lot of black dingy look to it. And now it's just clean, refreshed. Everything's been washed, all the dirt's been washed away, all the spider webs, and most importantly, all the organic growth is gone. So come over on the other side here. Did a little scrubbing around the door trims. A lot of the dirt likes to build up around those corners and what have you. But here it is, let me zoom out here. This is the other side of the house that was really bad. And as you can tell, it's completely gone. So if you've been watching our channel and know what we do, this shouldn't be too much of a surprise for you. Our products work really well. We do a really good job killing all that and getting all the dirt off the house. So all in all, this job went really well. I'm super happy with the results. I've yet to show the client. I'm sure they're going to be pretty happy as well. The only side that I'm a little bit disappointed in is the south side, and this is the side that gets most of the sun. So forget the noise, I got a trash guy here. But this whole side has been oxidized. Now I knocked out probably about 70% of it, but it's a little dingy, a little dull, but that's to be expected. There's still some oxidation on the house. I don't think there's a lot left, maybe just a little bit, but yeah, you got a little bit right there. But all in all, didn't have to do any scrubbing on this particular house. We just applied our soft wash, but we knocked it out pretty good. And again, I'm really happy with it. So if you have any questions, please leave the comments below. Love to answer for you. We took some time off this last couple weeks, so I haven't been posting much. But if you like this kind of video and this kind of content, let me know what you're interested in learning more about. I'd love to share my knowledge with you. Someone asked about doing a full walk around video on our truck here. So I want to do that pretty soon, kind of breaking down everything that we use as far as our equipment goes. And hopefully I can get my my camera guy to join me so I can be front of the camera and show you stuff in real time here. But anyways, thanks for joining me on another video. Hope you guys find this content interesting. And again, like and share if you enjoyed it. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Wow.